Well, it's finally time to build the garden fence. Didn't get to have a garden this year because of the house going in, but for next year I would love to have this place at least protected from all the deer. Last week I walked off the front porch and Wally was with me, and there were 4 deer out here just hanging out, so definitely need a fence. So today I've got the post hole diggers and some twine and tape measure, and we're going to get started putting this fence in. So let's get to it. So I've decided on a 40 by 40 garden space. That should be more than enough to do everything that I want to do, and shouldn't take too much work to keep clean and growing well. So to start off, I've got a couple of stakes here. I'm just going to put some ribbon on it so it'll help you see it on the camera. And I'm going to go over here and set the first corner, and then we're going to run the tape measure off of that one. So let me go set it real quick. I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to keep the compost tumbler, but for now I am going to just make sure that the fence includes it. So I'm going to set the first flag right around here, I believe. Okay. Now we'll measure from that one and get the next corner. So I have my 100-foot tape measure here. I'm just going to, I guess, stick this under a rock and measure out here. There's 40 foot right there. Now the exact position of these flags is likely to move here in a bit whenever we square this thing up. So I've decided to make this back edge over here the edge that stays stationary. So I've got the flag right over here and the other one right over here. And so what I'm going to do is come off of those 2 by 40, and then a squared plus b squared equals c squared tells us that the hypotenuse between this flag and the one where I'm standing, and then from this one to over here is 56.5 feet. So I'm going to grab the tape measure real quick and walk this way, and we'll mark out this corner. That is 60 foot, so I'm off a bit. And the flags are now set. One here, over by the barrel, right down here, and then over here. Yeah. Now that I have all the flags set where I want them, I'm going to use the post hole diggers to dig a hole that is 2 foot deep. Well, after hitting a rock or two, the hole is now 2 foot deep. So I'm going to put a little bit of this gravel in here to help with drainage. May also keep the post healthy for a little bit longer. Just going to scoop a little of this and plop it down in the hole. Alright, should be plenty. Now if you're new to the channel, you may not be familiar with my lumber pile here. A good friend of mine donated all of this, and also some fencing, so I'm not sure I'm going to have to spend much on this fence. Now I'm kind of concerned about hornets being up in here. See if I can get this off of here without getting stung, if there is any. Well, nothing so far. So what I'm looking for is an 8-foot 4x4. Let's see what this one is right here. There they are. There's a good many of them in here. Let's see if I can get one out here. All right, that should do nicely. Just gonna plop this 4x4 down in here. Pat that down some. Now, I'm gonna put a little of this dirt in here just to kind of hold it in place. And I'm gonna use the level on two sides to see if I can get this straight up and down. About there. And there. Okay. Put some more dirt in here. Now I'm also going to make sure that I turn this so that the corners will line up well with the other corners whenever the fencing gets on here. Alright. Now I'm going to use the end of a shovel or a hoe here to kind of tamp this dirt down, pack it a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to come back and make sure it's leveled off. That way's good. All right, right there. So now I just need to tap this in and then come back with more dirt and really get it in there well. And that completes the installation of post 1. Looking good, nice and straight, nice and secure. Now I'm going to move down to the second post down here and get that one installed, and then we'll go from there. I have all 4 corners put in, but we're going to focus on these 2 now. I've got some of this string, which I'm going to tie off here at the top of this post. And the reason I'm going to do this is so that I can have a guide to see where the tops of these other posts in the middle need to be. So I'm just going to run this out here to this other post. Okay, so that gives a guide. Each post after the corners will have something to butt up against so we know exactly where it's supposed to go. Well, I strung out the tape measure and I've marked every 10 feet, and that's where I'm going to dig to put the next set of posts in. So over the past few months, the channel has really been growing fast, which is great, and I appreciate that. And I thought it'd be a good time to ask this question again, and that is, what length video do you like? I like, if a video has got some good content, it's definitely nice to have the 10 to 20 minute range. You know, some artistic elements in there. But if it's a video of like how to change a light bulb, I kind of like that video to be 2-3 minutes tops. So just in the comments, let me know what you like, because usually whenever I'm watching YouTube, it is either in a hurry to find out how to do something like change a light bulb, or it's while eating breakfast in the morning. And then I like a video that's gonna push somewhere around, you know, 15-20 minutes. So yeah, just let me know, because you know, videos like this one, which are running a little bit long, you know, it's got some maybe useful information. Also, I'd like to know what your favorite YouTube channels are. Personally, I stick with just a couple. Excuse me. I like Land a House, of course. Wrangler Star. He's got all of my homesteading, and there's a big old rock down here. I also like a fellow named Mike Collinson. We may have to move this hole. He's been a subscriber of mine for a long time, and he's always given some great helpful hints. Of course, I like to watch Good Mythical Morning. They certainly have been a highlight of my YouTube. Let's see, I like Nigahiga. Been watching him now for actually since 2006, since the beginning. Oh, that's a stubborn one there. I now have all of the fence posts installed. I even put 2 openings for doors. So the first one's going to be here, and then the second one is straight across from it over here. Now I'm still kind of unhappy about how short that back pole is, but I measured it and it's the same as the rest of them. The hill just dips way down there, so we'll live with it. So now it's time to get the cross pieces between each of these boards put in. So I've laid out these 1x4s, and I'm going to be using those to go from the top across to the next top. And then the doors are going to be a little bit different, or gates I should say. I want these to be extra secure, so I'm going to come up top real close here and put some 2x4s just to keep these really nice and secure together. So to get started, I'm going to take my tape measure here and go from the outside of one post to the outside of the other. And I've got 56.5 inches. Now, I'm sure there are several ways of doing fences, but I think what I'm going to do is just these top pieces and side pieces will follow the land as the posts go up and down. So I'm sure you could cut these off and make it all perfectly level around, but it seems like a lot of work, and I guess for now we'll just try it this way and see how it goes. So let me cut this board real quick and we'll get it hung up. There was a comment on a video I made one time, and it said, you know, if you'll take 3 extra minutes to set up some sawhorses, your entire project will be more accurate and turn out better. So that's what we have here in these buckets. Some easy to set up sawhorses. Now I put on my list to borrow my dad's nice wood clamps so that I could just plop this up here and clamp it down, but I got in a hurry and didn't check my list before I left his house. So now I'm gonna have to use some pieces of string here to get these to stay in the spot that I want. Working through the kinks of fencing alone here. So I'm gonna come down about a 1/2 inch roughly, and then put some of these outdoor wood screws in here. Okay, put a couple on this. All right, so I can go ahead and just put one in now, and then fix the other side over here so that I can get it even before I get all the rest of them in. Okay. Retract some of that previous statement. I think to make this build of the gate a whole lot more enjoyable, I'm going to level the top and bottom of this. So, I mean, it won't have a lot of headroom, but it will certainly make this gate a lot easier to work with. All right, so that's leveled off now. Okay, so I mean, I have to duck just a little bit, but it's still pretty good. So that'll make the gate door so much easier to build. I got the piece over the door done. Now I'm going to move on to the next set of posts, and I'm going to come just below that door, and this is actually going to be measured from the inside. So I need 109 inches. Now I wonder if I could prop this board up on a post and still be able to screw it in. Let's find out. It would save a lot of time not having that string. Alright, so I'm just going to come down to about 4 inches from the top and screw this in. Okay. And then come down here, since it's holding. Oh shoot, I'm supposed to go on the inside. Retract that. Sometimes I get in a hurry, or just absent-minded in general. So, let's see if I can just flip this whole thing over and around here. Okay, and we'll try this again. I believe I'm going to stagger these down, so the next one here will go below this other one, but then later it'll be above the next one. Ow, splinter. Oops. So I woke up this morning went out to the kitchen and the dogs started barking, and they actually found deer right outside the kitchen window. So definitely have to have this fence. All right, so I'm gonna move down the line here and keep getting these installed. I managed to get all the cross pieces done up here, and because of the way the ground lays out, they're staggered, of course, and so got the 2 door pieces installed, and those are the thicker 2x4s. Now over here on this back side, I probably should have kept stepping down, but instead I stepped up, but I think it'll be all right. Well, that concludes part 1. In the next video, I'm going to be installing the fence between these posts and then working on these gates. So please tune back in and we will wrap up this build. I'm Seth Johnson with Land House, and I will see you there. Bye. Well, this concludes part 1. I think the posts being installed and these top pieces gosh.